Welcome back to Find the Juice. You're a Teddy Slugger. We're talking about baseball today. We are going to break down the MLB All-Star Game starters as phase 2 of voting is complete. Now, after phase 1, Shohei Ohtani and Aaron Judge won the popular vote for each league, which means that they are automatically in the All-Star Game no matter what happens during the rest of the voting process. Now, we will start with the American League starter. At catcher, of course, is Cal Raleigh, the big dumper, leading all of baseball with 33 home runs and came in right behind Aaron Judge in the fan vote with over 3 million votes. Now, my first debate is the American League first base. Everyone voted in Vlad Jr. He's having a good year. Second place was Paul Goldschmidt. But after you hear who I think should have won overall, you're going to wonder why Paulie was even second. So Vlad is sixth among all first basemen in baseball with a 134 WRC plus. Ninth in home runs with 12 and getting on base very well, 47 walks, which is second among first basemen to only 50 strikeouts. So who could possibly be having a better first half of the season compared to that? Well, if you fly on down to Steinbrenner Field, there's a guy on the Tampa Bay Rays named Jonathan Aranda who wants to have a conversation with you. Aranda is first among all first basemen in baseball with a 325 batting average. He has 10 home runs, just tied for 13th, a 154 WRC plus, which is second among all first basemen, and a 2.2 WAR, which is third among all first basemen in baseball. Let me know who you think should be starting the All-Star game, Vladdy or Jonathan Aranda. Now we'll move on to second base, where I have another conversation to have. Gleyber Torres got the fan vote. He's having a good year, good bounce back. I understand why everyone voted for him. He's in 284, 9 home runs with a 137 WRC plus, 42 walks to only 40 strikeouts. But in my personal opinion, another guy from the Tampa Bay Rays over at second base, Brandon Lowe. He's playing pretty terribly defensively, but he's second among all second basemen in baseball with a 130 WRC plus. He's sixth, hitting 274, and he's first among all second basemen in baseball with 19 home runs. If you had someone else for your second base for the All-Star game for the American League, let me know, because I would love to see how many more guys should be starting at second. Third base, another no-brainer for me, and it seems like the rest of the country. Jose Ramirez quietly putting up another MVP caliber season so far. Now, let's head on over to the American League shortstop position. Getting the vote is Athletics shortstop Jacob Wilson. Of course, he's having a great year at the plate, but he's struggling defensively. He doesn't have much power or speed, and he struggles to get on base if it's not with the bat, aka walking. He is sixth in WAR, second in WRC plus, and batting 339, which is first among all shortstops in baseball. But you know who I think is more deserving of this opportunity based on the way he's played this first half of the season is, and I hate to say it because I hate the Astros, but it's Jeremy Peña. He's the ninth best defensive shortstop in baseball right now. He's first in WRC plus with a 146. He's right behind Jacob Wilson with batting average hitting 322. He has 11 home runs, which is tied for seventh, and He has 15 stolen bases, which is sixth at the position. So you put all those things together and you're looking at the best offensive shortstop in baseball while losing nothing defensively. I get Jacob Wilson, another feel good story. He's on the Athletics. We know about the A's drama, moving to Vegas, playing in Sacramento. The numbers speak for themselves. It's Jeremy Peña, folks. And finally, because I'm not covering the designated hitters, we're going to end with the American League outfield. Like I said at the top of the show, Aaron Judge is solidified to be in the outfield. Joining him is going to be Riley Green and Javi Báez, both of the Detroit Tigers. And I think there's a guy who should be taking one of their spots. So Riley Green having a great year, 8th in WRC plus, 10th in batting average among all outfielders, not just center or left or whatever, all outfielders, and 9th in home runs. And then you have Javi Báez, already was a fan favorite in Chicago. Everybody hated what they saw from him in Detroit because they wanted to see him lead his own team. And now he's having a bounce back of historic proportions, moving from shortstop and second base to center field and still being one of the best defenders in baseball. But does that mean you deserve to start an all-star game, especially when you're 36th among all outfielders in WRC plus, 20th in batting average, and 48th with only 9 home runs? So, yes, the answer to who I would replace in the outfield is Javi Báez. But with who? It's Detroit's rival. They're in a cold city. They're named after siblings, like the Minnesota Twins. And my answer is Byron Buxton. 10th in WRC plus, 6th in WAR, 8th in home runs with 19, 9th with 15 stolen bases, and you already know about that speed, and you already know about that rocket arm. You put Green in left, Judge in right, Buxton in center, and let's have some fun in that outfield. So with the American League all tied up, let's move on to the National League. Get ready, because you'll see a lot more favoritism over here. And we're going to start with catcher, like we did in the American League, and Will Smith. Very deserving. He's hitting .320 with a .418 on-base percentage. He's third in walks, although he's been average defense. And my first debate comes up next. I love this man. I feel like everybody who loves baseball loves this man for what he's been through off the field and what he's accomplished on the field. And that's Freddie Freeman of the Dodgers. He's 5th in WRC plus, 5th in WAR, behind two guys I'm going to bring up. 2nd in batting average, and he's a doubles machine. He's 2nd in doubles among first basemen, helping his second best slugging percentage, even though he only has 10 home runs. So who could I possibly want to see in the All-Star game for the National League at first base over the beloved Freddie Freeman? Well, let's start with Matt Olson. Now, if you hear this, you're going to wonder, who could even be better than Matt Olson? Well, let me start. Matt Olson is 1st in WAR, 1st in fielding, 7th in WRC plus, 6th in WOBA, 3rd in doubles and home runs, and 1st in walk. But guess what? This other guy is 1st in home runs, 1st in doubles, by far 1st in slugging percentage. Remember, this is all first basemen in the entire MLB, not just the National League. 1st in WRC plus, 2nd in WAR, 1st in WOBA. Guess who it is? Pete Alonso of the New York Mets. I would say Pete did not get the nod because of his defensive shortcomings, but seeing other guys that we've already gone over, seems as though defense isn't being rewarded, so why would bad defense be punished for Alonso? Let me know in the comments, of the three, do you think truly deserves to start the All-Star game based solely on their performance? Next, another no-brainer. Second base, Ketel Marte, the Mariners legend, Arizona Diamondbacks GOAT. He missed 1 month with a grade 1 left hamstring strain, and he's still first in WAR and second in home runs with 17, with missing an entire month of baseball. He's fourth in walks. Again, missed a whole month of playing baseball, fourth in walk. And he's second in batting average, only behind Kim of the Dodgers, who has a much smaller sample size than Ketel Marte. This man, to me, is in the top 5 MVP conversation right now. And now I have another debate. We're going to move to San Diego, talk about third base for the National League, where Manny Machado is heading to another All-Star game. He's been good at the plate, 5th in WAR, 6th in WRC+, 9th in slugging, 9th in WOBA, 5th in home runs, and 2nd in doubles among all third basemen in baseball. But he's had a huge fall off defensively. And like I said earlier with the Pete Alonso thing, make it make sense. So who do I think should be starting at third base? It's another Mariners legend. I'm not trying to be biased. I don't even like the Diamondbacks. But it's Eugenio Suárez. He's 9th in WAR, okay. But he's 2nd in WRC+, 2nd in WOBA, 1st in home runs with 26, 1st in slugging, actually fielding at about the same level as Manny Machado this season. Machado's only advantage to Gino is that he's walking more and striking out less. But do you think people want to tune into the All-Star game to see a dude walk, or to see a dude like Gino smiling at the plate hitting dingers? I know you all are with me on picking Gino. And now we go to shortstop. In my last debate of the video, the National League starting shortstop is Francisco Lindor. Lindor's having a pretty good season. Just looking at his stats, not comparing to anyone else, it makes sense. He's even the 6th best defensive shortstop in all of baseball, to go along with his top 10 offensive abilities at the plate this season. So who could top that? Well, it's a rival of the Mets. It's Mr. Trea Turner. Turner is actually beating out Lindor in every single category except for home runs. But Trea Turner makes up for this in his runs scored, which he has 7 more than Francisco Lindor. If you go look at it, they are literally Turner, Lindor in everything. I understand Lindor has the city of New York backing it. And when the Phillies are your number 1 rival, nobody in that entire state is going to give you a vote. So I get it. That's the one I get the most. That is a rivalry deciding All-Star game starter. And finally, let's talk about the National League outfielder. I'll leave the feel-good to me last here. And we'll just start with the come-up player of the year until recently, James Wood acting like he's Barry Bonds. Mr. Pete Crow-Armstrong. He's the 5th best defensive outfielder in baseball. He's 3rd in steals already with 26. He's 10th in slugging, 5th in home runs, 9th in doubles, and 8th in triples. 4 triples already. But he's only 20th in WRC+. Joining him in the outfielder is going to be his teammate, Mr. Playing for a Contract, Mr. Kyle Tucker, who's actually 4th in WRC+, 12th in slugging percentage, 11th in home runs, 12th in doubles, and also has 4 triples, tying him with Pete Crow-Armstrong. Who would have thought Kyle Tucker can get 4 triples? What? He's 4th in walks and actually has more walks than strikeouts. 54 walks to 52 strikeouts. And he's also been a little above average defensively. And now, let's talk about everyone's, well, I would assume everyone's favorite National League outfielder for the past few years, Ronald Acuña Jr. He missed 49 games to start the season, and he already has a 2.0 WAR, which is 20th among all outfielders in baseball. He's second to Aaron Judge in WRC plus with a 195 and Woba with a 455. He has 9 home runs in 36 games, and he's second in walk rate, right behind Juan Soto. What a comeback for Ronald Acuña Jr. Well, that will do it for this week's video. Let me know how you feel about this year's MLB All-Star Game starters. Who are the biggest snubs, in your opinion, in both leagues? And what do you want to see in the All-Star Game? And from who? Comment below, subscribe, and like. Keep this thing rolling, and check us out every day on YouTube and X for our MLB pick of the day, where we're looking for the most valuable winning play to get you guys the most money. Until next week, have a